Hello, it's Monday and it's the final Monday in January, which means it's time for me to talk about my January favourites. It's been quite a busy month for me. I set up my own website. That was one of my goals for the start of the year, to have my own website. I went to Cheltenham, I went on a course, done quite a lot of boring admin-y things. Quite a productive month for me. But yeah, my favourites. I'm going to start off with TV shows, as I so often do. The first one which brings to mind this month is Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. We're nearing the end of season 2, which I have loved. It's gone in some different directions, and I've been pretty impressed with how the storyline is going, and some of the arcs that the characters have had. I feel like they've taken some risks this year, and I applaud that. Also, Luke Cage on Netflix, I finished that this month. As with the other Marvel Netflix shows, it took me a while to get into it, a couple of episodes to get into it, but I really enjoyed this series, and it has so many fantastic characters. Oh, and another TV show I'm going to mention is Sense8. I watched the Christmas special only this weekend, but I forgot how much I enjoy that show, and I'm looking forward to the new series now. Now, films. This has been a good film month for me. I've seen some new or recent films, which is rare. Normally I don't see films until years and years and years after they've been released. But this month I saw La La Land in the cinema, I watched Whiplash and Sing Street on Netflix, and I also watched The Revenant and The Martian on DVD. I'm not going to talk about all of those. I enjoyed The Revenant a lot. It was a very high quality film, epic, and Tom Hardy was fantastic, and I love Tom Hardy so much. Also, Sing Street, I'm not sure I've mentioned that before today on this channel either. It was a fun film, I recommend watching it, and I found it pretty inspirational as well as a creative person, and also as a person who has trouble starting things. And finally, The Martian, which is probably my favourite film that I've seen this month, although actually I shouldn't talk about it because I'm reviewing it tomorrow. Yeah, it was funny and a really good adaptation of the book. I will talk about it more tomorrow, and I'll also be reviewing La La Land tomorrow. Now, a radio show. At Christmas there was a BBC radio adaptation of Neil Gaiman's Stardust. I listened to it a couple of weeks ago. As with all the BBC radio adaptations of Neil Gaiman stuff, it was really great. And the sound design is always so beautiful. I would say that Stardust is my least favourite out of it, Neverwhere and Good Omens, which is of course Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. Partly I think because I prefer the other books, and partly also I think because the others were big 6-part dramas, whereas Stardust is 2 parts, although the book is shorter, so it wouldn't stretch to 6 parts. But I liked spending more time in that world, I guess. Now, a clothing item. This jumper, which I bought last week, it's a slightly different shape to my normal jumpers. The sleeves start at the elbow. The sleeves aren't the most convenient sleeves for holding things, but it's cropped and it has these nice tears. It's very warm and comfortable, and I like the colour. It's sort of a grey purple. It was less than 20 quid in New Look. Now, finally, a purchase. Last month I talked about my Star Wars dot to dot, so this month I'm going to talk about my Star Wars colouring by numbers book. This is the one I'm currently working on, of Padme Amidala, and I quite like this Yoda one, a nice C-3PO for you there. Then we've got Padme and Leia. I'm enjoying it a lot, although it does have a problem. The key is sometimes not particularly clear, especially if you have several shades of the same colour, and especially if the colour is black or grey. So yeah, it's almost impossible to pick the right colours without looking at the solution. And also I think that a lot of the time there doesn't need to be so many shades. You know, some of these dark greys could be the same dark grey and everything would be fine. But once you do sort your colours out, this book is actually pretty great. I enjoy it a lot, and it's nice to have a change from dot to dot. So those are some of my favourite things from this month. I would love to know, as always, some of your favourite things as well. As I said, I will have a review up tomorrow of La La Land and The Martian. That review was actually due last Tuesday, but I kept pushing it back by a day because I had a cold and my voice kept going. So that review will finally exist on Tuesday. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.